All right, guys. So, yeah, the Democrats don't seem to be doing so well right now. Despite the issues going on right now with the Trump administration, his approval numbers going down, and a lot of controversies already. And we're only, what, a month and a half into the presidency? That's kind of, though, par for the course for the Trump administration and Trump's political career. There's always something, but now it feels like it's even more than it was during his first administration with Doge and everything else that he's doing. Well, Democrats, they have an opportunity to really go against Trump and be opposed to his agenda. But instead of doing that, Chuck Schumer has waved the white flag. And it doesn't seem like they're putting up much of a fight when it comes to the spending bill. So, therefore, government shutdown averted. Now, the way that they're trying to spin this is that, the federal workers are already going through so much under Donald Trump with the people being fired and everything that if we do a shutdown, then it's going to be even worse. Their lives are going to be even worse, which sounds logical, but at the same time, many supporters of the Democratic Party are furious over this because they feel like Schumer and the top Democrats in Congress are just handing victories to Trump on a silver platter without any real opposition. Yeah, the Democratic Party now feels a lot more neutered and just pathetic compared to how they were during the first Trump administration, where they were fighting tooth and nail to oppose every single thing that he tried to put up. And now they're just, after the second defeat under Donald Trump, after Harris lost the election, they just feel aimless and without purpose. It's like, yeah, they're opposed to Donald Trump, or at least they say that they're opposed to Donald Trump, but they don't know what to actually do, what their messaging should be going forward. Because if they just stick with what they've been saying, then they're probably going to continue to lose elections because it's obviously not a working formula for success. Despite Biden's victory, obviously, it doesn't seem like the Democratic Party really has much of a clear future. I mean, if Trump shits the bed, then they're probably going to win in 2028. They're probably going to win the House in 2026, regardless of what happens. So there is, I guess, light at the end of the tunnel if you're a Democrat. But it's like, damn, just seeing all the comments online, the morale. I've never seen morale at such a low for supporters of the Democratic Party and the left in general. It's hasn't been a good couple months for them. I think that's safe to say. But it's also like, in terms of public perception, I don't think Democrats opposing the spending bill would have really hurt them politically. Because I think your average voter would have blamed the Trump administration, just like they're blaming Trump for the inflation, for prices not coming down, and tariffs and everything that's going on, because the president's the first person that gets blamed. Not to mention the fact that you have a Republican president, you have Republican Congress, so you have a trifecta. It's like, okay, Trump not getting his spending bill approved and there being a shutdown, people would ultimately, I feel, blame him. At least, I mean, not Republicans or conservatives or Trump voters, but your average moderate voter that is the real voter that decides elections, right? So I don't know what the game plan is for the Democrats. They obviously need fresh new leadership. What they got going on right now is obviously not working. I feel like they're kind of in a transitionary period where they're just trying to figure stuff out, do some soul searching, and we'll see what happens going forward. But right now, the Trump administration seems to be going along pretty good in terms of getting their cabinet members approved, in terms of achieving their political agenda, with a few roadblocks in the way with the courts and everything. They blocked a bunch of stuff that they were doing specifically when it comes to Doge. So that's like the one thing, but it's also like every day just seems like a barrage of so many different announcements and decisions made by the Trump administration. It's like he's making up for lost time essentially for those 4 years that he was not in the White House. And it seems like, honestly, he's been doing more, whether you like it or not. You can't deny it. Like, he's been doing a lot more in the past month and a half than it seems like he was able to accomplish or do in the entire 4 years of his first presidency, because of the fact that he didn't seem to know what he was doing. He didn't have the right people in his circle, he was an outsider. We haven't really had a president that didn't have at least some experience in, holding political office. But I think he is more refined than he was the last term. His rhetoric and his mannerisms and everything has definitely not improved. Like, that's the one thing people hate the most about Trump, more than his policies, is just the way that he acts and behaves, not of what people would think of as being presidential. But yeah, it's been an interesting term so far since inauguration day, and we have a long way to go, and we'll see how Democrats navigate this and what they'll do to stop losing elections and actually be successful going forward.